everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is the first day of the new year. We're starting off right. Maybe this will be the year that I actually start making YouTube videos on a more regular basis. Today we're doing the tutorial on this eye look that you guys requested a ton of when I posted on my Instagram stories the other day. Hopefully I did it justice. I think I recreated it pretty true to how it was in that photograph. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Okay, so I have a little bit of face and body on for Mac already, so I'm just gonna continue with that. I wear the color C1 in the face and body. It is fairly yellow toned, but that's alright. That's what I like. Been wearing this in the Glossier skin tint a lot lately. Oh goodness gracious. It's one of those Instagram videos. I'm just making a real mess of things already with 3 seconds in. Well, I guess I'm not wearing this shirt today anymore. Okay, then I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Ultimate blending brush to blend them out. Why do people do those stupid things on Instagram where they drip product all over their face? Does it not get literally everywhere? I mean, I dripped that tiny little bit and now I have foundation all down my turtleneck. Man, I really forgot how good face and body is. It just makes your skin look like it's already perfect. I do have a few little acne scars right now, so I'm gonna conceal with the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Vanilla. This is a sample. I discovered that this shade is a way better match for me, so I'm gonna use this sample up, which is going a long way actually, and then buy the full size vanilla obviously. So I'm just gonna cover up these little spots. Okay, this, you can really tell that face and body is too yellow for me. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in real life, vanilla is quite pink in undertone. I am going to go in with a little bit of this concealer shade from the Chanel Beige Claire, I think. Beige Claire palette Essentielle, and just go over that concealer a little bit just to make it a bit more yellow. Normally I wouldn't do this, but MAC face and body is very, very yellow, like I've said 3 times now. Okay, for under my eyes I want it to be pretty bright, so I'm going to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Chantilly, yes, which is the very lightest shade that there is. I'm sorry if I'm like moving around a lot. I cannot see because I'm not wearing glasses, so I have no idea where I am in the frame at all. I don't use too much of this because I don't want it to be like super pow contour coverage, but I just like how bright it is. And kind of take it down the center of my face here. I'm gonna set my under eyes with the Ethereal Light Ambient Lighting Powder from Hourglass. This is pretty bright also, so I just use it under my eyes and on like the highlight points of my face. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm going to use the MAC Next to Nothing powder. This is in the shade Light, and my broken brush. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of bronzing and highlighting and stuff. I feel like with such a bold eyeshadow, you do need a little something. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow palette, but if you follow me on Instagram you would know that it's shattered, so I'm not going to show you that, but that's what I'm using. Make sure you get it up into your hairline. Especially if you have these weird like bold spots like me. If this stays really white it looks stupid obviously. And I'm just gonna highlight with the same palette because I'm lazy. I did actually use that new Chanel Tan de Chanel one that I got. Actually maybe I'll use a little bit of that on top. So I'm going to use a little bit of this Soleil Tender Chanel Sheer Illuminating Fluid. This is really, really pretty. It's probably a little bit too bronzy for me, but I kind of use it like in between my highlight and my bronzer, so it kind of like blends it together, I guess. If you have like a tan or a deeper skin tone, this would be such a beautiful highlight on you. The good news is that this is going to last me for the rest of my life because I really can't use too much at a time. I'm also going to do a tiny bit of the Dusk Cloud Paint from Glossier, just a little bit, not too much. Because we have, yikes, because we have a lot of color on my eyes, I don't want to use like red or pink blush. I think, well, it would look cool for like a monochromatic look, just that might be a little over the top for me personally. Ugh, I spilled a little bit of cloud paint out and now I don't know what to do. It's just like sitting on the cap. Okay, now I'm going to do brows and then finally the eyes, I promise. I know that's what everybody's waiting for. I'm going to use my LA Girl Shady Slim Shady eyebrow pencil. This is the greatest and it is $5. And then you just kind of blend it through with a pencil so no one can see where you messed everything up. And the piece de resistance for eyebrows is always eyebrow. It's like necessary. Okay, so to start on the eyes, I'm going to prime my lids with some MAC Soft Ochre paint pots. You can use whatever primer you want, obviously. I'm just going to use a little bit, just to kind of get rid of any discoloration. Okay, so for this look, I used the Marc Jacobs Scandalust eye palette. Mostly everything from this. You could totally do it with just this palette, but I'm also going to use a couple of shades from the Lorac Pro 3 palette just because I like these transition shades a little bit better on my skin. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start off by mixing a little bit of Blanc and Canvas. You can just use your foundation powder for this, and I'm just going to set that Soft Ochre paint pot. So I'm going to start off with this At the Office color. It's like maybe a shade darker than my skin tone on a Lila B blending brush. I don't know what the name of this one is. This is just to start the shape of my crease. I'm trying to use fancy YouTube words. And this color actually builds up quite a bit. Why is there a gnat? Go away. Quite a bit darker than you would think it would, so you definitely want to use a light hand. I'm going to take it like quite far into the inner corner here just to create a bit of shadow. Okay, now with the MAC 217, I'm going to take clay and terracotta mixed from the Lorac Pro palette. You could totally use this one here. I think that's why for this step. I just think it's a little bit too orangey for me, so I prefer the Lorac, but use whatever you get. I'm just gonna warm up the crease. That's another thing with this. You want to make sure you're sticking to quite warm colors because I did mix in a cool toned eyeshadow. And it looks really strange with the pink on the lid because it gets quite muddy. So just be careful with that. And then this is also the color that I'm going to use on my lower lash line. I'm just going to use the 217 again and just smudge it on down real messy. Well, my camera cut out as usual. I'm not really sure where we ended, but I've just blended that on the lower lash line. I feel like this is the kind of look where you can really get away with a super smoky lower lash line, so that is what I've done. Now I'm going to take a small blending brush, or I mean a pencil brush, sorry. This is an E80 from Sigma, it's really old. I think that's what it says. And I'm going to go in with this brown colour from the Marc Jacobs palette. It's called Little Miss. I'm just going to smudge that on the lash line. We're going to do a wing, but I just feel like this helps it look super smoky. Now ideally what you want to pack the pink colour on the lid is like a quite flat packing brush like this. This is one from Loud Makeup, it's the E6. You can get these from pretty much anywhere. And we're going to use the Scandalust colour. This one, if you have it, is like a bitch to use. It's pigmented, but it's a little bit like chalky, so if you have a better quality version of this color, then totally use that. It's going to require some packing, and it also has some fallout, so if you're not careful you may want to do foundation lost. But I'm just going to load my brush up and pack that on the lid. So can you see it's kind of a little bit patchy? I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm gonna, I guess, kind of do a cut crease, but not really. Like, I'm just gonna like draw it into the socket line. This is where it starts to get a little weird. So because it looks kind of strange where the two eyeshadows meet, I'm going to go in with that warm color that I said I wasn't going to use, the That's Why one, on a little angled brush and try and kind of like blend the two colors together, because I feel like it looks a little bit too cool toned. Once I've kind of got the shape that I like, I'm just going to take a bit on my finger and press it down just so that it has more pigment to it. Now again, like I said, I'm no good at eyeshadow. I really don't understand how people get matte lid colors to look like a seamless blend. Like, I feel with shimmery ones you can kind of get away with it, but I don't know, for some reason I can never get matte colors to look as good as I want them to, so you just kind of stay far away from people and they can't tell the difference. I'm going to go in with this little teeny tiny brush. This is an E4 from Loud Makeup, and more of that dark brown color, and just really smoke out this lash line. Okay, now for the part which I'm even worse at, if you can even imagine that being a thing, liquid eyeliner. This is the Magic liner from Topshop. I really like this one. My favorite's probably the Kat Von D, but that's kind of expensive, and I don't really ever wear eyeliner, so I never go and buy it. But yeah, I'm just gonna apply this in a wing eyeshadow and hope it goes okay. Okay, this one didn't turn out so great, so I'm just gonna face this way for the rest of the video. I'm gonna take a little bit more pink on my lid because I feel like you can see when I look down where it ends. So, like right in here, I'm just gonna take some more of the pink and just really pack it on there. Okay, and then I'm going to do some black liner. This is the Bobbi Brown Gel Liner Pencil in Jet. Now, because I suck at winged eyeliner, I'm going to take some black on a flat shader brush and just kind of smoke my wing out a little bit so it doesn't look like I made a lot of mistakes. And I'm going to use the Almond Pearl eyeshadow from the Lorac Pro 3 palette for my inner corner highlight. Well, let me show you what the other one from the Marc Jacobs looks like on top as well, because that one is pretty. So that's the very first shade in the Marc Jacobs palette. It's like a pretty bright, light kind of highlight. And that shade is called Hot Pants. Of course, using the Lancôme Monsieur Beige, the greatest mascara of all time. And that, my friends, is how I managed to do eyeshadow that looks pretty cool, I think. You could do a lip as well, but I'm literally going to Ikea to buy a lamp today. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was an okay tutorial and you actually like learned how to do the look since so many of you requested it. Please send me your version of this, Instagram, DM, Twitter, whatever, and tag me in pictures if you post them. It looks really cool in direct sunlight, as you saw from that selfie that I posted. If you have like green or blue eyes, it makes them pop like crazy, and if you have brown eyes as well, I feel like it makes them look very chocolatey. So yeah, let me stop blabbering on and you go recreate this look.